Hey, fellow film fans, England Teen here, along with Dalton, the Authenticator.
Hello, folks.
And man, we saw Marvel's new movie, Antman. Woo! I was actually very excited about this. We talked about, we did like a little ranking and talked about the movies we were excited about, the ones we weren't excited about. Please check that video out. And this was one I'm particularly interested in. I'm particularly looking forward to. So when I sat down to watch it, I got to tell you, for the first hour, my mind was blown. I'm watching what I thought when I saw the posters for last year's Disney movie Strange Worlds. What I saw in Ant-Man was what I wanted with that movie. This is a beautiful to look at film. And this is in the world building this is incredible. And they take some time on the characters, and then the story starts and they forget everything.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's the big thing with me. This is a really gorgeous okie dokie movie. So we're going to go through everything. What's your first reaction to Ant-Man and such? Ant-Man, whatever we're looking at, Multiverse of Madness.
Well, Quantummania, but yeah, I find that it's the best of the Ant-Man movies, but then again, for me, that bar wasn't particularly high because for me, Ant-Man has always been kind of the also-ran franchise of like everything else I'm interested in, and also Ant-Man.
I completely disagree, but go on ahead.
And it also has it's officially now a trend where even the superhero movies I like, I go, it has problems, but I ignored the problems because of all the awesomeness that was going on in it. And yeah, it's the same second or third verse, same as the first. This movie has a lot of problems, but it gets a lot of its money back from me because it gives me what I wanted, or what I kind of want, the direction I want this franchise to move in the form of trippy, cosmic, semi-mystical weirdness. And I'm okay with that.
And that's probably, we're probably saying a lot about the same thing. You know, the aliens in the what is it called? Forget
the quantum realm itself.
Yeah, the quantum realm. Has so many different creatures, so many different bits of architect that I really just enjoyed looking at it.
It's an actual dimension unto itself. Yeah,
I told my wife I wanted to see this on IMAX, which is kind of a trip for us.
Yeah,
but we have a little mom and pops theater right around the corner. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go see this film, get it done so we can do a review. Let's go. Okay, fine. And so I did that. You know, just let's get this thing done. And I wish I saw it. I still will. I think I'm going to go out and see it, even though ultimately, okay, we're going to get to it. But I think this movie deserves to be seen on screen. It's like, if you do plan on seeing this, it's almost like, don't waste your time at home. Go to the movies and see this one.
I mean, if you guys went out to see Avatar: The Way of Water, of all things, on the big IMAX screen, I think this movie was better and more creative at how it used visual effects than either of the two Avatars are.
We differ on the Avatar thing. Okay, so the movie starts out, and oh goodness, are we gonna go to? I was about to do our thing where we
plot
go
summary,
spoilers, and plot summary and everything. So maybe we should write out, say plot, spoiler alert. But the movie does start out, and Scott Lang, it's as you see in the preview, Scott Lang is enjoying life. Hey, everything's coming up roses. Everybody loves him. He's written a book about
he helped save the universe, and people give it to him for that. So, you know.
Yeah, and apparently he talks about all the time how he fought Thanos and helped save the universe. And he finds out that during the blip time, his daughter had been contacting the quantum verse. This is once again in the preview where you see Michelle Pfeiffer go, no, and then they all get sucked down into the quantum verse. Now, big problem here, and this is where I really have a big problem with this. Every time Michelle Pfeiffer is asked, or Janet Van Dyne, every time the Wasp, the original Wasp, is asked for information, she's quiet. She doesn't give it, and that's a trope I absolutely hate.
It's like,
information good,
what's going on, Janet?
not information bad. And this is where we have a huge problem here. This movie looks good. This movie is fun. This movie is entertaining. This movie's script sucks. This movie's script is balls bad. And that's part of the reason. Instead of writing interesting characters, and these people are supposed to be smart characters, and they're demonstrated like, oh, hey, I taught this, or I created a colony of smart.
Kathy is like 16 and she's building quantum technology.
Right. So
yeah.
These are supposed to be intelligent characters, yet they do dumb things. And one of the dumbest thing is not telling everybody what they're in store for. And keeping, oh, no, I'm trying to protect you. No, well, I'm sorry, but when we're sucked into
ignorance is not bliss.
Yeah.
Things you don't know can definitely still hurt you, Janet. Just carry on with the explanation, please.
Yeah, it is a trope I hate. So they're stuck in the Quantummania, and they're like, Janet, what happened? Janet, what happened? I can't tell you. I'm protecting you. No, you're not. No, you're not protecting shit.
You're leaving us open to dangers we couldn't possibly fathom because you won't explain why you're worried.
And that's a big problem with it. Like, okay, so you also see in the previews where this guy with a laser head shows up and a whole bunch of people. These are the revolutionaries. Woo! Don't get
the revolution is completely useless. It could have been cut from the movie entirely.
What they are is mindless drones for the good guys. Usually what happens is you'll get an entertainment like Guardian. Let's take Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. Very fun film. Generally, people love this movie, but
my favorite MCU movie so far. Yeah,
the ending breaks down into endless drones fighting endless drones, good guy drones fighting bad guy drones. With occasionally you see the hero, woohoo, we're doing it, right, guys? You know,
yeah. The plot-based characters are like, we're doing a thing in the background.
So those revolutionaries that you see in the preview, they are exactly that. They are just good guy drones. They're
warm bodies for the good guys to throw at the villain, basically.
So you don't really get a feel for any of these characters. So when
you literally could have replaced them with an army of Scott Lang's ants, and it would have made more sense, probably.
Which, of course, we get. We do get that as well. So I kept watching, and I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. But you know what? It never went deeper than that. Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Billy Murray. Yeah, we're that close, guys. Me and Billy, we were hanging out, and I was like, "Hey, Billy, what's up with your role in Ant-Man? You show up, you just toss out a couple of lines, and then you disappear for the rest of the freaking movie, as if you never really mattered." That's it. That's Bill Murray.
Billy responded, "I needed a paycheck."
Yeah, that's it. Oh, you know what? There was a good golf course there. That's all. But that's the way it is with everybody. To a certain point, it's actually that way it is with the main characters as well.
Yeah.
The main characters don't have character. They just have things to do.
The story was the worst part of the movie, and that's sad, but...
I wanted to love... I was in... Like, I am completely different with you than you with the other Ant-Man films. They are some of my favorite of the Marvel Universe movies. How you hold the Guardians, I hold the Ant-Man movies. I think they are far different than anything else in the Marvel Universe. So I thoroughly have enjoyed them. But this one, I think this is also the closest Ant-Man has come to being a Marvel movie. And I think it's because when you look at the first film, it's a heist movie. And it's like it's a scaled down story. It's a single issue. Like if you were reading comics, this would be a one issue Silver Age book done. Same with the second movie. That might even be an annual, but one issue done. This one,
Yeah.
they tried to go bigger. They tried to go epic there with Kang. They're trying to attach it to.
And I think that's why I like this one better, is
And this
because
is why I liked it.
I always felt like the Ant-Man movies didn't seem to have a place. They just sort of were there, and I like this in that now Ant-Man is kind of functioning as a linchpin that holds everything else together, which is kind of what I want from this franchise. And unfortunately, this could have been one of the best Marvel movies ever if they had just tightened up the script and story a bit, but unfortunately not. So here we are, like a really interesting, really cool Ant-Man has finally found his niche movie, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Like that's where I'm at with it. It's like it has problems, but I'll take it.
It's not so much a script as it's a plot outline filmed, because it seems like a 12-year-old boy comes in, or a 10-year-old even. Oh, and wouldn't it be cool if? And wouldn't it be cool? Then wouldn't it be cool? And wouldn't it be cool? And they just kept filming it. And then they were like, well, how are we going to tie all this together? I don't know.
Yeah, they shouldn't have bothered, honestly. All the 9-year-old wouldn't it be cool if stuff was really awesome. All the plot-based stuff was, I don't care.
Well, here's the thing. If you ask me to describe films and things that I liked, I could probably go throughout the entire movie and describe awesome scenes to you. Because that's the way this would have been a great animated TV show that kind of connected, because or just maybe didn't even have to, because it has great action set pieces.
I'm glad it isn't animated, because I like seeing it in live action.
The reason why I bring that up is because on HBO they actually have an animated shorts thing for Ant-Man, and it's very entertaining, and this would actually absolutely be it. It's like okay, we gotta, Kang wants us to steal this thing, or okay, let's go steal this thing, and then during stealing this thing, multiple Ant-Man show up. Okay, that's awesome. It sounds awesome, and how they deal with it sounds awesome. But the connecting through line to this entire story isn't awesome. You want another one? They go to a bar. Bill Murray shows up, kind of tries to intimidate Hank Pym by saying maybe they had a thing together when they were younger. And then we find out she's a revolutionary, and Kang wants her, and his troops show up. Now they fight, and they even create a giant alien. Sounds great. But once again, you got to connect it to the other. And it's so much so all the way through like that for me. It's such really cool action set pieces, but no good connecting through line.
It's a fetch quest. Go here and fetch this thing. Go here and fetch this thing. Go here and fetch this thing. And then all the cool stuff will ensue because of the fetch quest. That's basically what it amounts to.
It's a video game put to the big screen. That's what it is. Okay, so I'm like wondering where do we go from here, because I think we're just gonna go wash, rinse, repeat talking about the script. But there is one. I mean,
we can do like characters and character journeys and stuff.
Well, I was gonna bring one up. The mechanical organism.
The mental organism designed only for killing.
There you go. MODOK makes his appearance in this one. I hate that I'm hearing people say that MODOK looks stupid in the movie. No, MODOK looks stupid in the comics as well.
Granted, they probably could have accomplished it a little better.
I think what they were trying to make it so you could recognize this Darren guy. Hey, Rhaegar, what's up? I think that they were trying to make it so you could recognize Darren if they gave him some age lines, some of that.
Yeah, long story short, when Yellow Jacket got quantum realmed at the end of the first Ant-Man, it distorted his body, and so now he's MODOK, basically.
Right. Kang saved him and made him into MODOK. Here's the thing. When MODOK was MODOK, I didn't mind it. I liked it. I thought it, once again, great action set pieces, really cool. They did MODOK well, and then they tried to have a story with him, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm a little bit harder on MODOK just because it feels a lot like the it feels a lot like the Mandarin problem of we're going to take this completely separate character and scoosh him in here because reasons, rather than letting MODOK be his own character.
Yeah,
And I
but
don't.
go
It's
on,
not
sorry,
as
you
bad
finish
as
and
it
I'll
was
go.
with the Mandarin, but it's still like I really would have liked to have seen an honest take on MODOK rather than just, hey, what if we made Yellow Jacket MODOK?
MODOK could have been his own thing, and you could have had them try to drag Darren out. Like he could have been, I don't know, maybe Ant-Man 4. I don't know. But the thing is he went from MODOK to Darren very quick. It would have been better. It might have even been more suspenseful. We probably would have known the direction they were going in. It would be great to find out they failed. If they recognized MODOK as Darren, and then they kept trying to reach him as Darren rather than him pop open, I'm MODOK. No, I'm not. I'm MODOK. No, I'm not. You know,
Yeah,
with because
the
it seemed like,
spastic split personality thing didn't
yeah,
work very well.
if they had to drag it out of him. But I think what I would have done is they try to drag it out of him and fail miserably, and he just goes hog wild trying to kill him. But otherwise, when he was MODOK, I actually liked MODOK. But when they, once again, the writing steps in the way. The director, whoever's directing, I guess it would be the second who directs all the action scenes.
Peyton Reed.
Good job, kids. But the director who directs the actors, which I think is Peyton Reed, not so good job, kid. You did not get great performances out of everybody. Now, that's not true. I think what's his name? Todd, the lead character. Paul Rudd. I think he did well. I don't think you're ever going to get a bad performance out of Michelle Pfeiffer. I've never seen one.
Not in this lifetime, no.
I've even watched Grease 2 a couple of times. Guess what? She is not bad. That movie sucks, but she's not bad. But
and Elephant in the Room time, Jonathan Majors as Kang is really, really, really cool. So fair enough.
He's all right. He's all right in this one. Yeah. So gosh, but they needed a story. MODOK was done well. One other thing I wouldn't mind touching upon is the fact that this movie, one thing that, and it's like bad, but cool. One thing I love about this film is you get to see how powerful a guy who shrinks, grows, and talks to ants can be.
Yeah.
They really go, and I got to tell you,
they actually explain kind of why he's an Avenger.
Yeah. Mike Douglas, what he does with the ants is awesome. I kind of like that.
This has been a thing ever since the first Ant-Man movie, but I really wish that we had gotten an Ant-Man movie or a series of Ant-Man movies that was just Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas.
Yeah, the original.
Just Janet and Hank, and this was the second generation. Because, like, I want to see that version of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I want to see Michael Douglas's Hank Pym and Michelle Pfeiffer's Janet Van Dyne. I don't mind Scott and Hope, but every time these movies tease me with, back in my day, I was a complete and total badass, and I'm like, okay, can I see that, please? Yeah,
that'd be awesome. But you did get a couple of scenes, and let's face it, Mike Douglas is beyond his action. He ain't making Black Rain 2. Okay, that ain't happening.
No,
he's a little bit older. He does get his moments though. Michelle Pfeiffer, at least her stunt double gets some moments, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her too much because she's one of those actors that doesn't age or ages in reverse.
Yeah, I know, right? She's how. I don't know, and I got these weird.
She's got to be in the same general range as like Helen Mirren and Cate Blanchett. Speaking of actors that don't age or age,
if you figure she was in her young 20s in the 80s, and like around 1980 to 82, so you figure if she was 20 then, and that's 40 years ago.
Yeah,
she's in her mid 60s,
close
now,
to her 30s,
right?
and she was close to her 30s in Batman Returns. I thought so.
Hubba freaking hubba. Okay, let's just say. I mean, she aged very well. It's Michelle freaking Pfeiffer, and she does well in this movie. But one thing I really did think was cool was the way they showed how powerful Ant-Man and Ant-Man/Giant Man could be. When he goes off on Kang, because you're thinking, well, Kang, you know, he's energy powers, he's manipulation, he's all these kind of things.
Time, he's telepathic, he's technological, he's got all the things.
But then you see Scott Lang just go off, and you realize, yeah, but he has to hit him. He's size manipulation, and how you going to do against a whole ton of ants who are coming after you as well.
Also, keep in mind you're in a quantum dimension, which is subatomic, and he has the power to make things grow out of subatomic range. Therefore,
here's one part. I'm not going to say too much, but when he puts Kang into the wall, I was like, oh, dude, I love that segment. I just love, because it was like, yeah, okay, I see it now. Now, getting back to Kang, there is a Flash villain called Abracadabra who has Kang's powers. If you hear how they describe him,
techno-replication of magic.
He's got such advanced technology by traveling so far into the future that he looks like he's got these.
It's a Clark's Law thing, yeah.
Right, and I was like, wait, that's Abracadabra. Okay, that makes sense though. So he's got all sorts of powers based on the technology he has. So it's
the same vein as Booster Gold as well. Like,
yeah, but the thing is he is not a omnipotent godlike being. He's a guy with a whole bunch of weird technology.
He's Mysterio with a bigger budget and more time.
Yeah, there you go. And so really, if a guy who grows and shrinks can get past that, he could do a lot of damage. Okay, so there you go. I mean, it's a lot of cool stuff, really, but it's just a bad story. And I think there's something we need to address, because this is the big thing that's going along, at least in our circle, unfortunately, about this film. They really do try to push the socialist agenda. And I know you're a Bernie bro, but holy crap, I don't think they do it well either. Because they literally
like that one line in Multiverse of Madness when America Chavez thought it was weird that we have to pay for food in our dimension. And it was like, wait.
The one line in, but no, it's more than one line in Quantummania.
No, it is, but yeah, what I mean is it's the same kind of, I don't know what the writer was thinking kind of vibe.
Yeah. There. Well, he does, look, there is this, at one point in time, somebody yells, burn it all down. Like, really, do you honestly, Hollywood, want Antifa to burn everything down, considering you're making money off the
guys, I hate to burst your we need to rebel against the aristocrat bubble there, but
yeah,
who do you think exactly they're referring to when they're referring to the aristocrats, you guys?
Yeah. But it shows up, unfortunately. The worst part, though, is that Hank Pym turns and goes, look at they say socialism is bad, but look at and I'm thinking, you know what? Yes, of course, for socialism to work, everybody needs to be mindless drone ants that does everything that the high commander tells them to. Sorry, I like my individuality. No.
Thanks.
There is that all over it. It really is. If you could get past that, but that doesn't happen all the time. But once again, the script is horrible. I'm not for an instant going to defend this freaking script.
Yeah, it's a little bit why I'm worried about.
I don't know what's going on, but we have done this entire video. We're almost done with it with no audience. But there you go. There's nobody in the chat. Nothing. I don't know what's going on. The last couple of videos I posted only did like two or three views in like 5 hours. So I don't know what's going on right now, but sometimes it happens with my channels. I don't know what I do to deserve it, but there you go. That's what happens.
Anyway, relating to what we were just talking about, that's why I'm
back to the movie.
That's why I'm kind of worried about Guardians 3, because in the trailer, the High Evolutionary says he wants to create the perfect society, and that was never his thing. Yeah. His thing was always creating the perfect beings. So, like, I I worry about that slightly too. Of is this going to be an increasing trend of, and now we we interrupt your regularly scheduled Marvel movie for a moralistic sociopolitical lecture.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, it's not a huge part of it, but it is there. And so if you're very sensitive to it, then obviously it's going to ruin the movie for you. If you're not,
It didn't bother me a lot. It just made me go, okay, yeah, thanks for
burn
pulling
it
me
all
out of the movie there for a
down.
second.
I did like I did like Antman just hulking out, but his dialogue, "You lied to me. I will kill you now." That was just no.
Yeah, Scott, he's a villain, a quasi-immortal, time-manipulating villain who's killed multiple Avengers. What did you exactly expect for him to do?
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this one up. Give a little give us your final thought, and then what letter grade, F-, F+, so forth and so on.
Like I said, it's in the same camp as a lot of the better superhero movies lately, where I'm like, it has problems, but am I able to overlook the problems because of all the cool stuff and finally kind of moving in a direction that I like. So yeah, it has problems, but I still like it, and I like it probably the best of all three Ant-Man movies. So I'll give it a B-, I guess.
B- is the lowest you can go while still recommending people go see it.
Yeah, and like I say, in my opinion, the way they actualize the quantum realm here is better than anything James Cameron has done with visual effects. So if for no other reason than that, go see this so I can get more trippy, extra-dimensional or interdimensional stuff in my superhero movies, please.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of in the same vein. I think that if you are going to see this, don't waste your time at home. Go to the theater, see it where it needs to be seen for what's good about it, because the story sucks. The dialogue sucks. What you get in this film is visual. Waiting for it at home is actually the bad way to see this. Go see it on the big screen where everything is made well. I know that sounds counterintuitive. If it's a low grade, if it's not the best, you stay home and wait for it on whatever streaming service. But I'm telling you right
you're
now,
gonna want to see this one on
this
screen,
one's a
guys.
big screener. If you have a friend that works at a theater, call them up, get your ass in there for free.
Get a favor, yeah.
But see this one on the freaking big screen. But damn, do not just because this
the performances are good, the world building is good, and the creative use of visual effects are good. Anything relating to the story is bollocks.
It's one of the worst. It is the worst Ant-Man to me. I know you feel differently, but it is the worst Ant-Man to me. And this one's probably gonna fall on, for if I made a list, it would fall to the low side of the middle or the high side of the end, however you want to look at it. I wanted to love this film. I kind of didn't mind it. I can't even say I liked it yet. I'll watch it again. Maybe I'll get a better feel for it. But I got to tell you, I was underwhelmed.
I thought it was better than Wakanda Forever.
I was whelmed. That was it. What did you say?
I thought it was better than Wakanda Forever. So that's kind of where I ended up sticking.
Yeah, I didn't like Wakanda Forever. This one, I'm kind of in the middle of the road for. I don't have any real feelings towards Ant-Man Quantummania at all. I did not like Wakanda Forever. That movie was bad. This one,
I'm looking forward to seeing Kang again, and if he has to be the next big bad, if he has to be the next universe-spanning Thanos character,
yeah. Well, you know what though,
I'm okay with that. I think he can pull it off.
We already had female Loki. We already had Ant-Man defeat him. Now we're gonna watch the Avengers defeat him. I did like seeing Rama-Tut at the end, but
that's the thing with Kang is, even if one particular version of him is lackluster, it's kind of like what He Who Remains said at the end of Loki, where it's like, if you think I'm bad, wait until you meet the other me's. I feel like that's going to be kind of the running theme with Kang is, each time he gets defeated, another version of him pops up who's even more badass, and therefore it's going to kind of be, it's almost going to be like a Highlander thing of like, eventually there's going to be a there can only be one sort of syndrome, and that Kang is going
maybe,
to
but
be
let me ask you, how much do you see the audience sticking with this? It's already kind of run its course for me. But that being said, guys, thanks for hanging out. Those of you who showed up to the end there, I appreciate that. Watch the review from the very beginning. Please, we could use the views.
playback.
Yes, playback. And if at this point in time of the live review, I'm going to turn this off and pop on over to I Love Comics. Either way, check out our reviews and little commentaries here by little. I mean, Dalton's done an hour and a half on Wednesday Addams, so might as well check it out, right?
Which is actually like our most successful video.
It's one of them. Yeah, it is one of the most successful videos.
Thank you for that, folks. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me nitpick the hell out of Addams Family lore for an hour.
I'm going to have reviews for Guy Ritchie's new movie, if I remember the title, something called Skinamarink. Oh my God, that movie. No, anyway, I'll wait for that.
Wait, that's a whole bunch of Guy Ritchie movie? That's interesting.
No. Those are two different films. All right, but as always, thank you very much for hanging out with us, and thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Cheers, guys.
Fun times.